little bit, rewilding. We've been planting trees, making bird boxes, bat boxes, and other stuff. And those of you who made donations, I've got my list, and I'm going to make some signs. So for the bigger donations, for some people have been incredibly generous. We're going to be doing proper routed signs and what have you for those ones. But for the smaller donations, around 20 euros mark, we're going to be make some tags so we can attach these to the trees that we've planted, that we bought with your money. So I thought that'd be quite cool to do that live. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got my bits of wood, my scraps of wood. These are bits I had. Well, what can I use? I thought, oh well, I don't want to buy wood for this because it's silly, really. You know, when you got these bits of wood, and we don't want anything too big. They're going to be attached to the trees for obvious reasons because the trees are really small at the moment. But the some people on here got some special requests as well, and I have to admit that some are really heartwarming requests. So I'm not going to talk about them obviously on here, but they're going to be proper little signs put in the ground where the trees are that we put on the bigger trees. And we've actually got some more coming. Actually, we've got some nice big eucalyptus coming as well. So we've got quite a variety of trees. We originally, when we first started doing this, we were going to be taking the route of an actual rewilding, and then we realised that might be a mistake here. We were advised by, that's what our farmer was telling us, Didier. And so basically what we're doing now is I think more in a case of habitat for animals and food for animals. I said this before. I know this is not exactly popular, but you know, they need to eat too. It's not just us lot who are going to be suffering with the higher food prices, what have you. Maybe not quite so much ourselves because we grow a lot here. To be fair, we're okay regarding food. I have to admit. In fact, we do a lot of preserves here as well. So like in jars and what have you, canning, that's what we call it. So we do tend to have quite a lot of stores of food. There'll be certain things we couldn't get, obviously, but on the whole, if our food supplies stopped just like that, we'd be right for a couple of years at least, I think. I've got so much flipping food. We might get a bit bored, yeah. There's only so much ratatouille you can eat. And chili con carne and curries and stuff like that. But anyway, so yes, I want to create some like tags, like these little things like this, and these are going to be attached to the actual tree itself on a bit of sisal string like that. Whether or not they will be heart shaped, depending really what it's just what it end up like. So I'm sorry, Mr. Decker, if you don't have a heart, but it's just that way we can attach them to the trees, because the trees at the moment are quite, well, they're scions, so they're quite spindly, they're quite skinny, not man enough to hold a big old sign on them. Maybe later we could change them, but at the moment I think the tags are going to work quite well, and we're treating them as well, so they'll be quite good. It should last, and but like I say, the bigger donations, so some people have been really, really, really generous, and they're going to be doing proper little router signs, which will be stuck in the ground, at the base of the tree. It be attached to the tree maybe, still. There's no reason why not. And some of the requests are quite heartwarming. They're like memory of certain people and that who have passed. In some cases because of the dreaded COVID. In other cases, car accidents and motorbike accidents and stuff like that. Some of it's just tragic, absolutely tragic. And it's quite nice to think that somebody would want to, in a different country, want to have put memory to their loved ones, what have you, here. I feel quite honoured, actually, if I'm absolutely honest about it. So first of all, what we're going to be doing is a bit of pyrography. So on the small donation, we'll be using this tool here and this tool here. Oh, it burns stuff, including yourself if you're not careful. You don't want to touch it. No. And I'm going to work my way through the list with what we've got here. I suppose I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do 8 of them. And then we can shape them up, what have you, and sort of make them like that. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever plans out. Anyway, let's see what we've got here. So, hello to everybody. Hello, son of a Viking. Don't plant a chili con carne. No, it repeats. Boom, boom. Hello, Simon says 55. Heidi, hi. And Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. So, yeah, it's quite a nice thing to do actually. This tree planting thing that we've been doing, and it's been quite hard work actually because obviously we've got to water them as well. So at the moment they just want a drink, even though it is relatively wet at the moment. It's been raining, but they still need a drink because the rainwater won't get to the roots, and it's also been quite nice to actually make the bird boxes and stuff like that. But we've got a lot of bird boxes. I've run out of wood though, so I've got enough to make another 3 bird boxes. But we want to make about 60 bird boxes. But I think we're going to miss the boat this year for all of them because the birds have started nesting. So that's pesky things. Some of the birds will come a bit later on. So if for instance, the hippos and stuff like that, obviously they'll be bigger boxes. Those things are crazy. They are. They poop a lot. They do poop a lot. Make a mess. But they're beautiful birds. They really are. So yeah, I've got 10 people here. There you go. But it's all gone a bit crazy in the world, isn't it? I believe that blooming ship is still stuck. They ever given ever forward? Yeah, they ever given, didn't we? Got stuck in the Suez Canal, and now we've got another one that's stuck on a sandbank, east coast of the United States. I think it's Norfolk, not Norfolk from where I'm from. No, Norfolk, Virginia, I think it is. Yeah, so that's stuck on a sandbank. I believe they're trying to remove it today. They're going to get a bit of a shunt about maybe the sea's at higher level, a bit more buoyancy. But it's quite easily done. It's surprising, really, because these sandbanks are constantly shifting. All right, so who are we going to start with? Oh, I don't know. Okay. Should I? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Should I start with my mother-in-law? Karen Libram. Okay. Can't it's hot yet? Nope, it's not even on. Turn it on. So that'll glow red hot, that will, on the end here. And I've got this little assistant on here to hold the button down because it's hard to hold the button down on this tool for too long. Oh, you've got that. Pyrography sounds like an illness. It is, yeah, it is, Jasper. It depends where you put it. You seriously have got an illness if you decide to put this somewhere it's going to hurt because you can see how hot that is. And yeah, so this was going to be for Karen Libram. Let's be a bit closer. Okay. Oh, the light's gone out. We'll leave it out, shall we? Oh, bugger it, yeah. So, okay, this is when I spell people's names wrong. My dear wife wrote the list down, so I'll blame her. I'm not going to obviously spell Karen wrong, because that would be just stupid. Just like that. Pine's actually not the best wood to do it on because it's quite coarse grain on pine. Yeah, Belfast boxwood is good. Even beech is actually okay as well. What's the other timber that's quite good? Okay. There we go. This is when my hands start aching. It's Karen. I've got to do the broom now. How can I fit that in? My wife's maiden name. Oh dear. Should I just put Nell? It's actually French. I nearly made a mistake. This is when I find I don't have enough room to put it all in or something silly like that. So that's a bit longer. There you go. Oh, nearly getting there. Oh dear. I might be able to hold down there like that. That makes more sense. Blah bloom. Yeah, my mother-in-law, husband Jim, who's my father-in-law. His father was French. But for some reason, it should have a... Oh, we call it... See what bots is. That's not how they... That's not how they... Okay, that's cool. What I'll do is once like that, and then what I'll do is I'll shape them up as a batch. So who's next? Who's next? I'm ticking off all the ones. And does this one on there? Sandy, can't you see? No? Okay, Sandy Reid. Sandy. Yeah. I haven't actually uploaded any videos yet today. I uploaded a couple yesterday for the channel, but I found I'm going to maybe just do one a day at the moment and see how it pans out with the algorithm, because the channel's just doing so badly at the moment. It's incredibly demoralising. So I ought to just reset it, have a bit of a reset. So I'm not going away. If anyone think, oh my god, you stopped uploading. No, it's not that at all. I just need to find a way, find what's wrong, and then correct my errors. So how I used to my videos used to always be, you know, heavily edited videos, and recently I've been just uploading unedited videos, which is okay. Or saying that, they used to do really well, but for some reason they're doing really badly now. And I think a lot of it's to do with the, you know what's going on in the east. Yeah. But equally, I don't know if it's something that I've done wrong as well. Maybe I'm getting boring. Won't be surprised. I do feel I keep regurgitating what's already been said. But they can say that when I do things a little bit that don't really get talked about, they don't do well either. So it's hard to know. Ideally, what you want is something, a topic that is, you know, for the algorithm to, or for people to be interested. A topic that's not talked, that is searched for, but is not fulfilled. There isn't much out there that satisfies that search result or the algorithm. I don't think it helped when I started talking about stuff that's to do with what's going on in Ukraine. I don't think that helped at all. Oh no, I've got to run out of space on. I might have to do that one again. Oh, no, I can't get it. I'll get it there, that's fine. Getting a bit concerned there. Didn't think I could have room. Oh, flames coming up there. All in my eyes, you know. Smoking my eyes up. My eyeballs. There you go. Nearly there. It's not the easiest thing to actually to write on this pine, but that's what I've got to use. So I could use I've got some scraps of oak I could use, but the problem with oak is what happens is, what I found anyway, when you do pyrography on oak, it's fine when you first put up, but what happens is the actual oak itself gets darker and darker and darker, then you can't see the pyrography. So it's kind of, you kind of lose the definition. Okay, that's Sandy Reid. Sandy, can't you see? Wow, wow, wow. Don't give up your day job. No. Oh, there. Anyway, Sandy Reid. So the next one. What's next? Oh, rest my hand. Where's my coffee? See what you've been saying. Turn that off. I need a little holder for that. I didn't have one. Oh, this light is interfering. with the camera. Let's just, there you go, I'll bring that there a bit. You thought about starting a mushroom farm? I have been thinking about that actually. Not actually a mushroom farm, but you can grow mushrooms here quite easily underneath the trees and stuff. A sapling, yeah, like a scion, yeah, little skinny trees. Lots of them. We've been putting lots of saplings in. Some we've managed to propagate ourselves, and some we've bought. Quite a few actually. God, it's so expensive. Even for some, I got one tree, right? It came. It's we thought, well, that was reasonably priced. So we looked at the size that they said it was going to be, delivered, and it was, I think it was about 1.5 meters or something. It came back, it was delivered. It was that tall. It was about 250 mil tall. We measured that. So obviously we complained. So and that was one of the, what was it now? Oh, I forgot what it's called now. It's a big flowering tree. Not magnolia or something, but it's got big flowers like a magnolia. Don't forget your logo. Which logo? On the Pyrography. Traffic does slow down after winter. Oh, does it? I didn't realise that. Because this channel's not actually that old. It's I started it not November last year, but the year before, and we'd just playing about with it. Really, I was just putting random short videos up, as in all shorts, and then I started dabbling with the politics stuff early in the year. I'd say really didn't start taking off really until January, February time. We noticed there was a trend going on. And also my woodworking channel got its first 1,000 subscribers that sort of time as well. But Allshorts kind of took over, and I didn't click in my head regarding the trending and the evergreen content. Are drastically different. The way they perform in the algorithm, for instance, totally different. Obviously, this channel is trending content as a news type content. What is interesting today is, of no interest tomorrow, especially at the moment. Look at Partygate. I thought it was quite interesting with Anne Trevelyan, whatever her name is, that Trade Secretary woman, and she would not say break the law. She went around it every way she could. Rules were broken or something like that, or the regulations were broken, but she wouldn't say the law was broken, and it was a law. So they do whatever they can to avoid the truth. Because obviously the word law is it's a strong word, isn't it? It's like when you call someone a liar. Are you a liar, Prime Minister? I think so. So yeah, it's all a bit crazy. So as you know, the channel has, you can tell by the views. I would say by June that year, May, June time, whenever we put a video up, we were getting, within the first hour, we were getting around 800 views. And then it went to 1,200 views. That was growing and growing. And we got knocked back a bit, and then it would come up again. And it's just kind of an understandable fluctuation. And before I went to Ginger Island last year, it got hit a bit, and then managed to pick up again while I was at Ginger Island. As soon as I get home, it went down again. It plummeted again. These aren't small drops. These are massive, massive drops. And then it started to pick up again in January, and then obviously that situation happened, and obviously it's dying and people are suffering. So it's awful. So so that happened, and that obviously hasn't helped the channel either. And I've been struggling to try and make headway with it. So now, if in the first hour, I am lucky to get 200 views in the first hour now, and that's when you need to get the views. You need to get the views early on, and then the algorithm says, "Oh, this is of interest," and then they'll push it in the suggested videos. But if you don't get anywhere in that first hour, the likelihood is not going to get anywhere at all, because obviously YouTube has other things to push. And once your video is flat on its face, as far as they're concerned, it's not of much interest to anybody. Unless all of a sudden it gets loads of external views from somewhere else. Let's say from something went viral on Twitter, for instance. And it's other things to look at as well. Is like the notifications. As you know, hardly any of my notifications get out, but it's partly because I put too much stuff up, so they aren't getting out because there's a free every 24-hour rule for notifications. But the shorts don't go to notifications anyway, generally. So, the little vertical videos I'd sometimes do, they don't go out notifications. They go into the YouTube shelf, which is a bit like TikTok. And Splinter. I don't like splinters. I've also splintered. I had one there. I had two up here. Woodworking, eh? Yeah. So it all went a bit crazy. So anyway, that's what's happened to that. So anyway, let's carry on. So who's next? We have got Paul Owen. Oh, he's not here, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's Paul Owen. So So I'll cut these all out on the bandsaw as well, and whatever shapes we can make them into. Some shapes will obviously that won't suit a heart, like James Decker did. Oh dear. See, some of the people in here are subscribers and some of them aren't. So we're at Paul Owen. Let's do a Paul Owen. Start with the Paul. So the P. P for Paul. These bits of wood here are actually offcuts from whenever I make shutters. These are literally the end cuts. And I've trimmed a shutter to length. Window shutter, France is renowned for its window shutters. They used to be all colourful, they did. And these days, everyone seems to just go like the whole brown dye stuff all over them. Not even dye, it's just like a thick varnish of colour in it. Horrible. Wish I could just, do what they used to. It used to be like chariot blue and all those sort of colours. These days it seems like, Tom Pierre, which isn't very nice. It's like magnolia. Everyone knows magnolia in the UK, definitely. Everything was magnolia. Magnolia and wood chip wallpaper. Maybe Artex sealants. Oh, there it goes again. Oh, okay. Doesn't want no. Paul. I think I've told the story before. My mum, she Artexed, paid quite a lot of money to have the house Artexed. And, oh my God. She asked me, do you like it? I said, it looked like a Christmas cake. It didn't go down very well. There you go. The crazy thing about it is that Artex is that you spend a huge amount of money to put it on the wall. And because of the nature of the stuff, stucco, it's costs a huge amount of money to remove it. Often, the best way around it is to replaster. Scrape off what you can and and replaster it. Let's put even. So, it's crazy the things we used to do, and also what bugs me a little bit as a woodworker is when I see people call things the wrong names. It's incredibly annoying for a woodworker. When I see things like, the stuff you see, plaster coving, what they call coving. Well, technically it's not a coving, no. It's a cornice. No, coving is actually a shape of a moulding. And that's not even what that shape is. No, because that shape is a scotia mould. So it's just, I find all that sort of stuff really annoying. And dado. People stick a bit of paper around the wall, like a border strip around the wall, and then call that a dado. And then, technically speaking, that's not nothing. But if it was a piece of wood and it wasn't finishing the top of a wooden panel, that'd be a chair rail. So it's just nuts. People just use all the wrong names. Like clinker. You got a clinker. You see like a boat, and it's got all the planks that look like they're overlapping each other. You got a clinker boat. Well, the clinker is actually the tool used to actually rivet the boat, to put the rivets in to hold the planks in place. They'd be copper. And no, it's not correct. It's not called that at all. Oh, there you go. My hands are aching. Stupid, isn't it? That's because I've suffered with carpal tunnel syndrome, although it's much better since the operation. It's still there a little bit. All right, Paul Owen. Half a second. I need my... Where's the sanding disc gone? The sand disc just... I'll do them later. I'll sand them later. Oh, it's a slightly bigger bit of wood. So yeah, it's all a bit nuts. Who wants your caps lock key? Does he? Oh, Mellow, obviously you're English Viking. You must be responding to Mellow. I think Mellow's caps lock is stuck. He always writes in caps lock, so that's fine. Don't worry me. I'm assuming it's a he. Might be a she. I don't know. That reminds me of my uncle saying, "Get out of here. Now it might go in flames." My uncle. Oh, that was a radio technic. Well, one of my neighbours, he actually passed away 2 years ago. I have mentioned him before, actually, Barry Moore. He was one of the guys who developed the satellite imaging. And there's very, very, very first satellite imaging images that were produced on a dot matrix printer. Type printers used to have. When we were still operating, still working in DOS. So yeah, that was he's telling me a story about it, how you to make a presentation to NASA with those A4 bits of paper sellotaped together and stuck on the wall of all these crazy kind of like dot matrix. You can see what it was, and that was aerial imaging from a satellite. So their job was how do you convert the data into a printable image. They did it. Oh, dot matrix. God, can anyone remember the dot matrix printer? Crikey. Charlotte, it helps me as I have lost my glasses, so I can read Mellows so much easier. There you go. That. Yeah, clinker built. Yeah, the clinker built is literally the tool used to build a clinker. It's strake. It's strake. The actual strake is the actual method, where the board goes on top of it like that. And generally speaking, there'll be a round chine. There'll be no chines on the boat. It'll be round chine on the boat. You go around formers. So the very bottom of the boat, when you build a boat like that, you obviously got to have your formers, but also you're going to have what you call your hog, which is like the keel and the hog, and then you've got your stern post. And your transom, if you have a transom, which is basically the flat part of the boat on the back. And then you'd literally then start from the bottom. So you start from the bilge under the water line, and you're working your way up, and every board is just effectively going on top of the next. And then you've got to think about your caulking. And I'm not talking about the stuff you use for your decorating, no. It's cork and cotton. You used to use stuff called cork and cotton, and that was literally think of a fixed string. Yeah, like a fixed string. It is cotton. And you have a special tool, and you whack it in, drive it into all the gaps. What happens is when the boat's in the water, everything swells up and it seals up. There's some light on that. I'm light to see, light. So yeah, it's quite interesting. All the old skills and that are lost. Why don't you build some wood cabins and rent them out? One thing you'd have to get planning for that, obviously, but, because there are rules. The other thing is we're very rural, and we'd have a situation regarding waste, as in poop. Yeah. So that we'd have to install a fosse that could cater with that volume of people. So you're going to be looking 20, 30 grand there to install that. We don't have any money, not at all. We're okay. We can manage, but we don't have any residual money. So, and the reason why we can manage is because we don't have a lot of outgoings, because we live pretty much off grid within reason. Putin is Dracula. Vampire got no soul, no turn to vampire once. Everybody's blood. I wouldn't be surprised. He's not trustworthy, is he? And it looks like he's it's quite. You got the Russians are going about saying, we're going to pull back, and we'll ceasefire there for the moment. They don't talk about the fact that they've actually been pushed back. They haven't been pulled back. They've been pushed back, and they're going to concentrate their efforts, aren't they, in the Donbass region? So that's going to be a bit scary. These people, they need to get out. They've really got to get out. I don't think they will. Some people will, but I don't think they will. Duke Vengeance. Oh, Duke. I mostly use Pyrography to burn down cities that oppose me. I mean, with their heating bills. Yes, that's totally what I meant. Of course. Why don't you build some cabins? When we first came here, we were going to be putting the teepees up. And although we did put one up, the problem with anything teepees, anything in the cloth, they rot after a while. So constant maintenance. Because we did actually want to make this do some, like a campsite for bikers originally. The problem where we are, it's not necessarily somewhere where people would go. Oh, I got a super chat, I didn't realise. Who was that? Oh, thank you. Who was that? I can find it now. How do I find that? It's Brian. Cheers, Brian. Maybe this will pay for a bag of coffee beans. What, for my coffee cup? Where's my coffee cup gone? Oh, cheers, buddy. Oh, it can't be bad. We can do that. We do use beans actually as well. We got a little machine. I used to have a hand one, typical French hand coffee bean grinder, and it was okay, but they wear so quickly. We had an old Peugeot one originally, and then we bought a new one, and that was terrible. The Peugeot one was better. The old-fashioned Peugeot one, what the French used to always use. But now we've got this. My daughter bought me and Caroline this little electric one, which works really well. Little brawn thing. Cheers, Brian. Yeah, most kind you are. Can you grow truffles? Actually, Betty, you can get. Who was telling me this before? I think it was in one of the chats or something. Someone mentioned about you can buy trees that have the roots impregnated. So you've got the I can't say the word. The mycelium. You know, like fungus root. Because obviously truffles are funky. There are some people grow truffles around here in this area, but apparently it's really secretive. Obviously, because they don't want their truffles stolen. Would I have to get a pig? I have to get a pig to find my truffle hunting pig. That's what I need. What about Peppa Pig? What about Alexander Bronston, Ethel Johnson? I need one of him on the lead. I'm walking through my woodland. Mycelium. That's it. Get a truffle piggy. Oh, you already said it. Oh, dear. Hello, Danny Blase. Hope you're well, buddy. I saw your video this morning. I came to the stream slightly late, so just asking, what are you making, my friend? Well, what I'm doing is for everyone who's been send donations, what have you, for these trees, for our little, tree planting and the bird boxes and stuff that we're making. So I'm making these. So just a little thank you, really, and we're putting them on the trees for the more average sort of the average 20 quid sort of donations that we've got on here, but also the on the bigger donations, because some people have been really generous. I'm going to do some proper pack of signs with a wrote it out and what have you, and some people ask for messages, and memorial messages as well. So it's quite nice for us. Feel quite honoured about that, to be honest. So yeah, that's quite cool. So it's nice, really. It's nice, and we're quite pleased. We're making progress now. It was a bit of a slow start, trying to find out where to get all this stuff from for a start. Where we're going to get these trees from, and we found a couple of good sources that happened to be not too far away. They were just slow getting stuff to us, but they're going to happen in France. What do you expect, really? So and they're starting to come through the trees now. And we've made some quite reasonable orders as well with our local nursery, but we're not going to be able to get them, all of them, just yet. They were talking sort of late August to, which isn't a great time to plant them, to be fair. But I suppose we can plant them the following month, September time. So yeah, those will probably be going in there, but we've got several ordered with him. I can't remember what varieties we've got with him, because that's quite mix. And also a load of hedgerow type stuff like blackthorn, hawthorn, and other hedgerowy type plants. So what we're doing on the boundary, we'll be right on the boundary, is 2 metres in from the boundary. We're planting the trees, and then we're planting hedgerows in between the trees. But there'll be like a no man's land, which is still our land, and then we've got the fence. The problem that you can't plant, if you plant directly on the boundary, you need I believe you need some form of planning, but also you've got to have agreement with your neighbour. My farmer wouldn't like it. No. Not our local farmer, he wouldn't like that. It's just an aggravation for him, which I understand. So yeah, it's So you tell me. I kept my head out of the news this morning, so I haven't actually didn't see any news. What's been happening today? Come on, you inform me. Corny, hello there. The real trick is to figure out what the right types of trees to have are. Anyway, enough about truffles. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, what trees would they be for truffles? Well, it's going to be deciduous trees, isn't it? It's not going to be. It's obviously not conifers. It's going to be deciduous trees. I imagine it's going to be things like chestnuts and oaks. I'd have thought, but I might be wrong. It's whatever. Oh, that light is so annoying. I'll leave it off. Actually, probably I've got more depth now. Is that my complexion? Which my best side? What do you reckon? Penny Hill. Oh dear, crikey. Yeah, what's been happening in the news? Come on, tell me. What's been going on? Inform me, teach me, educate me. Oh, cheers, Daddy Barze. I hope so. I'm quite enthused at the moment. Oh, guess what we got? We just ordered something. So we can share some more videos on here. Not political videos. Why would we be putting these videos on here, really? But that's just to do with the tree planting, because we've ordered a trial... wildlife camera, 4K one. So it's cam pack something or other. Anyway, that should be here tomorrow. So we're going to set that up with the bird boxes and stuff. So I thought it might be quite nice, because obviously people have been on this channel have helped contribute, so we can actually get this stuff up and running. And I thought it'd be quite nice to have the odd video, a bit of wildlife in. Do you know what I mean? So I know it's not partly political. People got a choice; they can watch it, or they don't have to watch it, obviously. I did want one that could stream. That's what I really wanted. But then I thought there'd be a lot of times where there'd be nothing to be happening. You'd just be looking at an empty bird box. And also, the streaming wildlife cameras are expensive. I'll say they're expensive. They're expensive for me. So it's just... so we sort of looked... maybe not. So we just got a wildlife camera. It's a 4K one. I think it's capable of quite big cards. And the reviews were really good on it. And it wasn't too pricey. So that was quite good. That'll be fun. Right, we'll see. Oak. Ah, that is oak they're using. Sort of for the. Is that for the truffles? The news is rancid. That is rancid. Do you know what? The thing is, doing what I do on this channel, I was getting a little bit depressed about it. Not about the channel, but about the topics as well. Because it's just constantly. You putting yourself in front of it all the time because you feel you have to, because you do, because obviously what I was doing, and it made you a bit down, to be honest. And it's just when kids are involved and stuff like that, it's so depressing. And and you don't see there's any way out. So, who Smith showed a side of his character? Nasty bastard. Yeah, maybe. I'm a bit divided on that one because I think my feeling is I think Chris Rock is a twat. I'm sorry, but I really think he's a bit of, you know what, he's I used to watch like Cheese and Crackers and stuff like that, a lot of his stand up, and he's so close to the bone. But I just felt when you start taking the mick out of people's condition in front of millions of people watching, he knew exactly what he was doing. It wasn't even scripted. It wasn't even in his rehearsals. He knew what he was doing. He chose to be just nasty to Jada because they've got some kind of thing going on. They're not there, but that's not the point. That was not just an attack on her. That was an attack on every single woman and man suffering with alopecia. Like for a Little Britain guy, or not Matt Damon. Madame de Vere, that one. He suffers from that's why he's got a shaved head. Alopecia. So I just felt that was an attack on everyone who suffers with alopecia, and our post lady suffers with alopecia, and I think she's really brave, and and I just felt that was cruel. That wasn't funny, as far as I'm concerned. That was not funny. And okay, I don't condone that Will Smith give me a bit of a slap. That wasn't a little bit of a slap. I wasn't like that. It sounded worse than what it is because he's wearing a microphone. If Will Smith wanted to whack him one, he'd be on his back. So it sounded worse than what it is. So I don't know. I'm a bit broken about it. I don't think he should lose his Oscar over it. He won't. I don't think he should be banned from it. No. I'll tell you, he should be banned from that place now. He caused that problem. That's my feeling anyway. Maybe I'm an old Neanderthal. Probably. Autoimmune stuff is annoying. Yes. If you talk about alopecia. It's what was it now? Oh, anything like that, or even down to eczema. We had a lad in school who had seriously bad eczema. So he's constantly on his face and his hands and things like that, and he's just conscious of it all the time. He got picked on because of it, and it was just cruel. It is just cruel. No wonder kids aren't mentally developed enough at that age, are they? Young teenagers, to be able to deal with it emotionally. And so many kids, they commit suicide over stuff like this. It is bullying, outright bullying, and it's cruel, no matter what age you are. So that's my feeling anyway. I know. Me and Carol, we just looked at each other. I thought, what the hell? What did you say? Duke says, why do they invite comedians to the Oscars anyway? There's no award for comedy. That's a valid point, actually. Maybe they just want to give them airspace because they feel guilty because there's no award for comedy. The thing is, like for instance, when Ricky Gervais was doing it, yes, he used to attack individuals, but he never attacked them for a condition or something like that. Usually because they got money. I quite like Ricky Gervais, and I'm not keen on his comedy, but I quite like him because he's an animal lover. Big time animal lover. That is a valid point, actually. I think that was the worst bit, actually. I know people could disagree on this. The fact that he slapped him, that wasn't really, to me, that didn't... How many times have you been in a scuffle? I have several times. I know it was on TV, but I've never done that. But using that F word, that expletive like that repeatedly, it just made him look like an angry little man. Oh, we've got some Brexit news. Brian Maguire, here's the Brexit news. A frog entered the UK illegally. Oh, in a bag of mint from Africa. Begs the question, why do they import mint from Africa? Mint can grow like a weed. Really, is this true? I know, but obviously, I grow mint. Yeah, be very careful of the roots because they tether and they just, yeah, it's crazy. A bit like my comfrey. Oh, a bag of mint. A bag of mint. That's silly. Did they get harvested, didn't it, or something? And then was it dead? Obviously, it must have been a dead frog. Okay, I need to look it up now. Hi all. Hashtag think European. I do all the time, mate. Oscars losing their audience at 50% per year. They're trying to make them controversial and exciting. Maybe it was a setup then. Maybe. No. But that's what they thought, didn't they, at first? Some people thought, is this a setup? Was this planned? People were stunned. What's going on here? And they realised it wasn't when they hit him. Oh, cool. Site, if you like. Which, allshorts.eu. You can send it there if you want to, Brian. Corny80 says, plucking mint all day for low wages is not a European pastime. Yeah, because you pick the leaves, aren't you? I think that's a good point. You have to pick the leaves off, because all the stalky bits are all woody and fibrous. It's because no Brits want the job. That's a valid point. They don't. It makes you laugh, don't it? You know, they go on about, taking all our jobs, taking our jobs and our women. They say all that, don't they? And then it comes down to they're still sitting in there, watching Gogglebox, sitting on yesterday's pizza slapped on the butt. So quite frankly, they're just full of crap, literally, and pizza. Comedians don't get cancelled for making jokes, they get cancelled for making jokes that punch downwards at people. Yeah. It was vindictive, I think. No, it's not involved. Hang on. Marcus, have you thought about making Brexit a business? What? How do you make Brexit? Well, I suppose some people have. What about Nigel Farage? He's made it a business. Failing business. And no, it does not involve rubber dinghies. No, I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. Spartafly. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't have mint because I can't afford the lamb. Oh, says John Winter. Yeah, lamb is so expensive. And the little bouncy bonny lambs, We used to have lambs here. They were actually quite good fun, actually, when we had the sheep. Moved on. Yeah, they used to come alive just after 5 o'clock. Well, as the sun starts going down, and all the sheep, they used to go mad. And the lambs, they just bounce and run around the fields, bouncing all over, and jumping on each other's backs. It's hilarious to watch. They were fun. I'll tell you what they didn't like. If you're talking about rubber dinghies, what about like rubber rings, as in the sense of the little rubber rings used to castrate the lambs, the male lambs? They're the tool, yeah? Right, you just put the band, it's a little rubber band, quite thick rubber band. You put the tool into it, and it springs out like that, and expands the rubber band. You have to get the gajooners, the hooners, their little sack. You pull it through the band, and then you race the band round the nuts. And they run around screaming for a bit, and then they calm down. Well, they don't quite run, they don't actually run around, but I can't imagine it being very comfortable, no. And eventually, they'll drop off in the field somewhere, their little sack. Oh, I wish I did that to Stanley Johnson. Then we wouldn't have had Boris Johnson. That would be the plan. Anyway, my dog Wally, he found one of the sacks. there he was. It was all dried up. It was in summer. He came into the house. I'm like, what the hell you got in your mouth, boy? So I get fingers in his mouth and I pull it out. I noticed it's still got the rubber band on it, but it's a sack. It's a ball sack. Enough to make your eyes water, I tell you. So I thought, what am I going to do with this? I should have just chucked it, but I was intrigued by it. So I put it on the shelf, right up high, out of the way. There's no other way up to it or anything like that. Next thing I knew, Wally's got it in his mouth. Again. Somehow he managed to get that. I reckon he must have got a broom handle or something and knocked it off. Can't think how else he got it. It wasn't a different one. Unless an animal got up there. That's as in like a mouse or something. Maybe that knocked it off. So I just stared at it and realised it would taste disgusting. But Wally seemed to like it. Dogs, hey, they like the nastiest things. It's like Pandora. We took the dogs, we do it like we do every day. Took the dogs for a walk yesterday. Walked down the road. And the cows have been down the road. Moving from one field to the next. And needless to say, there's like cow poop. She wants to eat cow poo. She's got her head straight in there. Eating cow poo. Dogs are disgusting. They really are. But I love them. They are nuts. Oh dear. So what else has happened in the news? And I know the news is depressing. Is there anything really interesting? Because I haven't checked today. I started watching I watched old Travelan, whatever the name was, the Trade Secretary this morning, trying to, dodge and dive the question regarding breaking the law. Well, that's about it. That's all I've seen today. I haven't clicked on any links. I didn't even not every day. Normally, my routine is that nearly all the time actually, just constantly search and see what's going on, try and find stuff that is a little bit not necessarily the same as whatever else is following, because it's already well catered for, and kind of like Duke Vengeance says, I'm building a house in Minecraft. I don't play any computer games whatsoever. I used to, but not anymore. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Minecraft. Mad Monk 33 says, tried to put my meter readings into my energy supplier's website today and it crashed. They probably haven't paid the bill. Got to keep trying, as I'm not going to get charged for units used before. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Anyone, make sure that you've uploaded make sure your meter readings are uploaded before tomorrow, because the prices are going to get hiked, and you don't want to get charged on your previous on the previous rate. That's the worry that's been going on. I think that's right. Hi, from Blackpool, please. If you're in the UK, I have prepaid meter top up today, and I shall be Heather. Prepaid meter top up today, and shall be Scottish Power. If you're on the direct debit, take a meter reading and give it to your supplier. Yes. You just said that. No, definitely do it. You must. Yeah. On a Sting meter, are you talking about those stupid little Linksy meters? Now they keep trying to come in and change my meter, and we keep we're in your area, we're doing the meters. You haven't got to have one of the meters. That's a fallacy. If they tell you have to, they're fibbing. They're lying, they are. I'm just going to grab a little battery pack. Maybe I'll make some more signs. So I'm digressing too much, as I do. Give me sunshine. Yeah, that one there, that one there. Okay. My battery's going to go out. Tell me if it creates any hissing or hassing or noises or stuff. I'll put that over there, so it shouldn't do. Hopefully it doesn't. Sometimes I reloaded the phone, restarted the phone before I started this. Because sometimes there's a bit of a problem with the sound. Sorry, missed my first one up, okay. E.ON and British Gas websites are still down. That's everyone trying to get on there and load up their results, isn't it? From their meters and meter readings. It's got to be. It's like when the new rules came in, everyone had to use the that new system, which I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, what was that called again? For imports, exports. That fell flat on its face. This government is terrible regarding bandwidth for their servers. Websites just crash. They just can't cope with it. But some of their sites are so old. Oh, I see. But you can easily see why they wanted smart meters now. The suppliers can charge the price the minute, yeah. And also, it's very hard to argue it. A lot of people have been charging more, not less, because of this, because of those so-called smart meters. Here in France, they call them Linksy meters. We haven't got one. We're still on an old meter. The farm behind my house seriously cut back lambs this year. Are you in the UK, are you? Brexit market unviable. Yeah, you must be in the UK. Because they've actually increased here in France. It's like whatever was imported, exported to the UK, or exported from the UK into France, a lot of the French farmers are. So my local farm, Didier, that's what he believes anyway. Anyway, he's like DEFRA. They sort of, and obviously the farmers they give you an idea of what sort of things you should think about planting. And basically, they said you need to increase that. Virtually everything, really. That'd be wheat now as well, wouldn't it? Grain crops, feed for your animals. See, our farmer Didier, he plants a lot of grain crops as well, a lot of corn, maize. We have a smart meter with variable pricing, and we use Lecky at the cheapest time, most Lecky at the cheapest time. So you're being smart with your usage. Oh, Simon says I refused a smart meter, and no one can. Well, good point actually. Yeah, they can't hack it. Well, don't they send that stuff the information goes through the actual the electric cable, doesn't it? So it's I don't know. I just don't like the idea. I think we're just allowing too many people to have too much control of us. Whether it be for good or bad, I just don't like it. I'm not saying everyone's trying to bring I don't know, stop us with a chip in our arm or something stupid like that. But I'm not into all that rubbish. Chimney sweeping time. Oh, you sweep your own chimney. We do our own, but we do get somebody in to, if they get certified for the insurance. So we do all the intermediate ones, and then the main one gets done by the chimney sweep. Oh, the sun's out today. But that's black hair and black hair. It's cold in Blackpool, says Heather. Yeah, they're terrible, aren't they? They haven't got a clue what they're doing regarding websites and server space. Oh yes, bandwidth for the actual servers. How many connections it can cope with. Can you imagine it today? How many people are trying to log? Well, you know yourselves, obviously, because you are. Anyway, I need to do some more. Let's do some more Pyrography. Oh, do you know what these are good for? When I was in the UK, I had a thought about this thing. When I was in the UK and I went to see that the live stream, didn't I? And I walked in, talked to a so-called traditional Turkish barber, and he's gone on about torching the ears, burn the hairs at your ears and up your nose and stuff. Why can't you just use that? That'd work, wouldn't it? Yeah, I can do a demonstration. I get this. I've got a bit of sisal. This is the hair up your nose. All right, let's make it all frisky. All right, there you go. More like Dennis Healy eyebrows now. All right, so there you go. So there you go. You burn it all off. Is it sisal? That is sisal. Yeah, sisal. Oh, so you do that with your nose. Just use one of these. That'll work, won't it? Go out. Yeah, that's out. Right, what's next? What we got? What's next? I've done Paul. Oh God, that's a long one. Oh, I don't know if I get all. I might be able to get all on. Lawrence Steinberg. So I'll have to do it smaller. concentrating. I hope I get it all on. That'd be embarrassing. Have to be a bigger bit of wood. If not, oh la la la. Oh, nearly. When you do them small like this, they don't look like defined. But what you do is when you add a bit of sandpaper over them, because what's happened is it's all the resin's been melted around it, so it kind of takes some of the definition out. When you sandpaper it, that all goes. Oh, that E isn't very good. There. Me worrying about space. I had space for another letter. Right, so if I grab a bit of sandpaper, where is my sandpaper gone? I don't know. Let's use that. That might work. Just get your idea. See what I mean? So it becomes more defined. This is just the resin. I might have annoyed Graham Hughes the other day. I think I might have done. He was live streaming, driving back from, I think it was in somewhere in the EU. And it was live streaming while he was driving. And I thought, so I said, should you really be live streaming while you're driving? Oh dear. I think it was Veg Pie or somebody on here he told me off. I wasn't actually driving at that time. It was I was just sitting stationary. So I thought, but I think it's a valid point because he was fiddling with his phone, and that's not really clever. So hopefully, if me and Graham does next month or this month or next month, tomorrow. Oh, from tomorrow. Oh God, that's so annoying. I'll make sure that we do it between us in a way it's safe. You might not want me to now. Thing is, though, the evidence is there. What he was doing was actually illegal. So, in the EU, you're not supposed to touch your phone. And he's been distracted. Silly boy. I understand that because it's quite easy not to you don't realise that you actually do something a bit silly. Getting there, I'm getting there. Got the berg, I'm doing the burger now. These are all going to be shaped up, so they're not going to be like just rough cut like that. It's just going to be shaped up into like that. We'll hang these on the tree, so like little tags. And then the bigger ones we'll be doing, which will be done with the router. Like I do my routed signs and stuff. I was doing down on Ginger Island with Graham. Graham took over from that in the end. He got the hang of that. He did. I was quite impressed. Okay. God, I wonder what's happening down at that island at the moment. I don't know if he's. Does anyone know if he's managed to get any lets? When I spoke to him last, I spoke to him a few days ago. I didn't ask that question. Oh, that come out all right, actually. Steinberg. Big. Nice thing with the pyrography, see this? If I use anything like paint, anything that'll just come off in time, wouldn't it? But that'll always be there. So that works really well. Like I say, we're going to cut them out, sand them up and treat them. Well, I say chuck a bit of lacquer on them or something, just so they look nice. Or a bit of oil, just oil. That might be a better idea. Steinbergs. I should be taking these off really, shouldn't I? I've got my nice pencil from Glasgow Kiss. You got me this. Very sweet of them, isn't it? So we've done that one, and that one. Yeah. Got his fumes. Oh, and done that one as well. That one as well. That one there. And I've got a Rick Wheeler. La 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 da. Da, 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 da. I've got it in my head now. Oh, what's going on? For those who are interested, the two P&O vessels are still detained. European Causeway in Lame and... Oh, really? Well, we go back. In Lame and Pride of Kent. Causeway in Larne and Pride of Kent in Dover. By the MCA. Oh, brilliant. Well done, Brian. I'll teach them, swines. English Spoken says, oh gosh, we use the timer function to run the washing machine, and that's responding to oh gosh, and the dishwasher to when it is cheapest, and we usually eat after 8 p.m. Yeah, makes sense. And the other thing is, obviously, the other thing you're doing is you're reducing the load on the infrastructure, aren't you, of the actual supply networks for the electric. Because if everyone is coming home and they do exactly the same thing, I know, everyone got home from work, and say, I don't know, between 6 and 7 o'clock, everyone jumped in the shower, for instance. 9 kilowatt or whatever it might be for your electric shower. Can you imagine the amount of power surge? Just that. It's kind of my argument regarding the electric cars. It's not, I've got nothing against electric cars as such, apart from the actual minerals needed are a bit of a problem. But how do we get the electricity into the cars at the right time? And I'm not talking about the charging point, I'm talking more in case people do home charging. Get some timers and do your laundry in the middle of the night. As the funerals are so expensive, you can have your ashes put on a tree in a forest, and it still costs money. Yeah, it's quite funny you say that. My father, when he passed away, there's Nico burial ground in Norwich, and it's actually quite a lovely place. Actually, they've got a really nice earthy sort of like arrangement going on there. There's no stone like headstones and what have you. But I actually made, my dad had a head wood. Yes, I made my dad's headstone. We made out of wood. That was a big lump of oak. So yeah, it was all carved and done with the name. Yeah, it looked really cool. And it was Malcolm the boat builder, you see. So his nickname was Malcolm the boat. So there was a picture of, a bit like the Blue Peter boat on this. I wrote it all in. And then Malcolm the boat. And then obviously, you know, the dates and stuff. So they allowed that because it was made of wood, you see. The best tip, get a housekeeper administration on paper makes you realise how much you spend on. Do you know what? Simon says, I agree with that. It's all the little things that you buy. I'll deliver it to the shop. I was going to do this. Or you end up using a little bit more electric than what you would have done normally. It's surprising how that adds up. Before you know it, you've gone over your budget. Sadly, that we have to think about budgets. How much? Oh yeah, we just that was so close to the bone that what we've got coming in is almost on par with what we've got going out. We've got very little buffer. And some people got no buffer at all. Just get more and more debt. Hello, whatever. Oh yeah, I hope you're well, buddy. Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Just making signs at the moment for people who have donated, and there's bigger signs for the bigger trees and that as well. So people donate a bit more money. So it's been quite heartwarming actually. It's been quite a nice thing to be involved and do. But also, it's some of the messages I've got to put onto some of these signs are quite. Yeah, it opens you up a little bit. There's only me and the missus, Viking, cat, dog, and 28 chickens. We used to have chickens until the blooming fox got them. That was either a fox or house martin. Yeah, house martin. It's like a ferret thing. They just destroy everything there. Writing things down gives you deeper awareness sometimes, but the only thing which matters is whether you're spending too much or not. The other thing is that if, for instance, if you're really comfortable, you're not necessarily thinking about how much you're using or spending because you know full well that you can afford it. Now, the guy that I was talking about earlier, Barry, the one who did the top matrix printing for the satellites, and he had all electric heating in the house. The house was really well insulated. It was all electric heating, and you always had, all the way through the winter, the windows open for the cats, and doors would be left open. The heating would be on full blast constantly. Well, he's used a huge amount of energy, but because he could afford it, shrug your shoulder or whatever sort of thing. No thought about the environment or anything like that, not whatsoever. But how many other people are like that? You've got these people living in these flipping great mansions, which have to be heated. You can't not heat these places. If you don't, you've got to have mushrooms growing everywhere. Oh, mushrooms, some mushrooms. Yeah, so it's something we have to. Pine martins, that's the one. Not house martin, pine martins. House martins is a bird. What do they call it? A hirondelle en France. The ones that create little mud nests under the eaves of your house. The house martins. Yeah, hirondelle. Of course, pine martins. Yeah, they're vicious little buggers, they are. If they get into your coop, what they go is they'll just kill everything for the sake of it. Just vicious things. Oh, I'm glad I kept back the boiler in my fireplace functioning for heat and water. Yes, good there. That's Andy. We've got Andy Brown. Andy Brown. Andy Brown. We've got a wood burning boiler. We've got a back boiler, but our boiler in the main barn. Although we haven't used it this year, we didn't use much last year either. But it's wood burning boiler, and that would heat. I'll say obviously that heat our house. But this year, because it's only me and the missus, you see, when we had a lot of people in the house, that was more necessary. But because it's just now me and the missus most of the time in the house, we just heat what the space we need to heat. So in this case, we just put the wood burner on in the wood burner on in the lounge, and we don't put the main boiler on. The problem with the boiler is it's about 45 kilowatt boiler. It's a big house. It's old. It needs a lot of work still, but it is a big house. So it's trying to heat that thing, and also it's stone. And once you heat it, it's fine. It maintains a fairly even balance because think of it as being like a heat store. But it takes a lot of energy to get it to that state. So these kind of homes are terrible for uses like holiday homes and stuff like that, unless you're just going in the summer. But in the winter months, because they take so much, because obviously they can absorb heat as well. It's cold. The stone can become cold as well as warm. So it is a bit of a problem. Brian Maguire says, I'm lucky. I come from the generation in Ireland where leaving the immersion heater on was a mortal sin. Yes, my parents were the same. Now, the heat, I was brought up in a little house in the suburbs of Norwich, a place called Thorpe St Andrew, on the east side of Norwich. And the house was semi-detached. It was my father's only house he's ever bought. So he bought that. He paid £800 for that house all those years ago. On a mortgage, £8 a month mortgage. And that's £8. And the house itself was built with these concrete blocks and pebble dashed. So it was brick up to about a metre, and then the rest was just concrete block and pebble dashed. And all the concrete blocks were made on site from a pit that was actually next door to our house, Andy Street's place. And that too was a similar sort of house because it was semi-detached with that house, but he had the extra bit of land at the back where the pit was. And everything was built on site. All the blocks, all that sort of stuff was all made on site for that house. But they were a hollow concrete block. The house was freezing. And it had crystal windows or wooden windows? I can't remember now. It had plastic, aluminium double glazing in the end. I can't remember. I think it had wooden windows. But yeah, it was a cold house. The attic was draft. It had the Belgium interlocking tiles on the roof. No felt or anything like that. Technically, as they were an interlocking tile, you don't really need the felt. But it did mean that the roof space was freezing cold. And the insulation in the roof space was pathetic. There's hardly anything up there. In fact, at one point, I think it was chopped, like newspapers or something like that. That was like you can buy it for the purpose. It's like a processed newspaper, sort of recycled. Fire risk, I imagine. And that was, it was a cold house. And the only heating that we had in that house was, I can remember for years, was an old paraffin heater in the living room and the Murphy Richards electric bar heaters. We had one for upstairs. And what my mum would do is she'd put that on for half an hour before we went to bed, to let it chill off so we can get into bed. And God, I can remember this day waking up freezing cold. Because my bedroom was on the corner of the house, which obviously you've got two external walls then. It's made it even colder. And it's absolutely freezing. Waking up shivering every single night through the winter. That wasn't very pleasant, I have to admit. That was a Murphy Richards. It was grey, it was. It was a two-tone grey. Yeah. And then in that paraffin heater, it was a brown thing. I think it was actually metal, but it had like a brown plastic finish on it. And it had this round thing in the middle, which would glow bright red. And you had in the side at the door, you opened up, you put this like a glass jar, effectively, which would be filled with paraffin. You go to your petrol station, and you fill it up at the petrol station. You just put it in the machine, and you put your money in, and it goes glug, 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 bubble, 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 and as you watch the thing fill up. I can't remember if it was pink or blue. I think it was pink. The paraffin was pink. I think that's right. Anyway, then we put it into the heater, and then it would heat the home. Well, heat the room. And then finally, my dad got a fake, well, it was a gas fire put in, or he put it in, and it was quite realistic. It was coals. I had that volcanic coals on it, but it looked like an open fire. But it wasn't very efficient. And eventually, British Gas, he got him and Mum. Mum with a little she used to clean at the school, so she's for her little income, whatever. And my dad was tight, I'll tell you. Anyway, they got a central heating put in the house by British Gas, and that made a huge difference to the house. It really did. Obviously, central heating, isn't it? But then everything in the house starts, with a huge array of other problems because it's got central heating. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Anyway, that's a long story short. It was a short story long. Oh, who? Norfolk East Anglia really. Oh, there you go. Really used to get cold in winters. Not so much now at all. No, it used to be freezing. 63. I wasn't born then. I was born in 1970. But my sister remembers that when the year that she was born, the freeze was such a hard freeze. All the water pipes under the ground would freeze. So yeah. Oh, Brian goes, I remember the ice in the winter and the inside of the windows. I wish I was joking. No, I can remember that as well. When you used to run your fingers down. When you actually like clearing your windscreen, isn't it? You get in the car in the winter and you had a hard frost or it's been, it's heavy freeze, whatever, and you scrape it off. I can remember that on the inside of the windows. Single glazed windows, I suppose. Snap, Jack Frost. Same, I remember the ice on the inside of the window. I know, that's so cold. Fuck. You're laying there in bed and you got that steam. Spoiled these days. I don't think oh, crikey, the rain's coming down big time. I slept under coats during the 70s power crisis as a kid. Metal shine. Oh, metal. Oh, you're talking about the old Critter windows, like angle iron windows. The old Critter windows, John Winter. They used to make them in Norwich, old Critter windows, years ago. They're like steel galvanised windows. They're actually really good windows. A bit like church windows, really, but drafty as hell. But they'd be good in places like, I don't know, India and put mesh in them or something, I don't know. But they were really strong. They'd never, ever deteriorate. The biggest problem with those old steel windows, apart from the drafts, was the fact when people paint them, and they got to a point where you get so much paint on them, caked on them, they just end up not shutting properly. They bind on the hinges. Okay, let me just show you this rain. I think it's come down quite heavy. Oh, lights! Seen lights! Oh, flickering there. Oh, what's going on there? Oh my god. It sounds like it's going. Oh my god, it's hail! In we go! Oh! Hail! Oh dear. That looks wet. Damn, I didn't bring that generator in. That's an old ex-military generator, that green thing over there, next to the grey shed. Yes, it's a wet day. Oh, and my cuttings, some of these they've shooted. I tried to pull them out of to see whether or not they've got root on them, and I can't pull them out, so that's a sign that there's root, which is good. So they'll have to be potted on. So willow there. Oh god, there we go. Got a floppy. Oh, that's what happened last night. No, not really. In my dreams. Anyway, let's do the next one. I've got the next one to make. To do. There we go. After all that. Yeah, it's a bit nuts, isn't it? It's wet out there. Rain, eh? The rain in Spain, or should I say France? Right, so, I've got to do a Rick Wheeler. Oh. Dee. Right. Oh, I can't see my head. Do you really want to? Rick Wheeler. Here we come. Right, so I'll put the bigger word, little word. I'm going to be making some feeders later, but I'll probably do that on the other channel. I need to get a load of wood is what I need to get. So I can do these bird houses, and which would be good. I don't really what I don't want to do. You see, I don't really. You see, all this stuff is all these are scraps. But I don't really want to be buying wood like this for a garden, really, or for this project, because this has all gone through a process. There's machines have been involved, power's been transported. It comes packaged in plastic. So I don't really want to be buying wood like that. I want to be getting some timber that's just sawn, be good. Preferably dry, seasoned. Even if not necessarily kiln dried, it don't need to be for the job. But something that hasn't. This is different because I haven't got no choice but to buy this stuff. If I machine it myself, it actually uses more energy. But things like bird boxes and stuff like that doesn't have to be smooth timber, does it? Birds live in trees. I don't think they mind if it's rough sawn. Just run a bit of sandpaper with it. It's just nice to work with. I could run it through the planer. Yeah, that's Rick. And I've got to do Wheeler. Mr. Wheeler. Okay. Mr. Wheeler. It's really cool though, and people, one of the things that I find really quite lovely actually is that when people will trust you to do what you say you're going to do. And one thing that I won't do, Mrs. will tell you, if you get a chance to speak to her, I won't lie. I say I won't lie. I might be selective with the truth if I feel I hurt somebody's feelings. I don't want to hurt, unless it's obviously Boris Johnson, and he can take a run and jump, a long walk off a short pair for him, or anyone like that. But I don't see the point in lying. I just don't get it. What is the point in lying? And it frustrates me when some people want to big themselves up so they sound cool. They'll just... I come across it so much. They want to just fib about stuff. And the problem, I've said this on this channel before, one of the other problems about lying, apart from the fact that it's a disgraceful thing to do, is you always got to remember the lie. Now, my brother-in-law, who is a horrid little man, he would can't help himself. It's just a compulsive liar. So, you don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, because you know he's lying. Pretty much. And he doesn't remember the lies. And you think, oh, crikey, really? Do I have to listen to this? There you go. Mr. Wheeler. Oh, oh, got that tune. It's in my head, it is. Walkman Wise. Okay. God, you know what? Is it me, or does it feel like so many artists, as a musical artist, passed? Or the drummer from the Foo Fighters died, and this last few years, I know people get older, but it just seems a lot of them. And then we've got Bruce Willis. He's decided that it's not yippee-ki-yay anymore, and he's going to resign. Retire. Resign. Resign from himself. He's got some, I can't remember what the condition is now, but he's got a condition that, like after he had the stroke kind of thing, or something like that. So he's decided to give it a break. No one, he's retiring, he can't cope anymore. Oh, they've been repealed. Oh, it's got a bit. Oh, hello, Chris Murphy. Lion. Liar. Pants on fire. Ooh. There we go. Up. Alright, we got to go. The only ones who like Tories are those who can afford to pay the bribes and the backhanders. They're not all the Tories are bad. You don't have to like their policies, obviously, but they're not all horrendously bad. They're not like this lot. Crikey, they are unbelievably bad. RC says, not about disliking the Tories. Focus positively on a better European future, and you'll find that we'll all be looking. All be looking for a progressive alliance in your F2. You know my views on that. That's what the people want. That's what they should have. To find out, we need an Indie Ref too. Always remember the R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's a good one. Yes, the 3 R's. We do. Oh, crikey, I'm always trying to reuse stuff. If it means I haven't got to pay for something, not because I'm tight, because I don't really have a huge amount of money at all, and also it feels good. It feels good to be able to reuse something if you can. I think so anyway. And it's quite easy. I'm in a good position to do so, because when you've got machines and tools and a bit of a knowledge of a bit of stuff, making things, you can adapt to a lot of stuff. It's surprising, really. A tsunami of partying and law breaking, says Chris Murphy. They repealed the fixed-term legislation, and they're hoping you've forgotten some of this year's lies by the time of the next election. Well, it's our job to make sure that people don't. We've just got to keep on hitting it, Brian. Really have. Ooh, like to see him. No, okay. Who's tsunami change tilting the world? Hello, Casper. Casper Northerner. IDI. Are you a ghost? Oh. The Tories are there to steal for themselves and tailor their policies to appeal to bigots and billionaires. And this keeps them in office. Yes, it does. What's it, Jacob Rees-Mogg? He's going on about how we're leading the way with the sanctions on the Russian oligarchs. We've sanctioned more people in the UK than anywhere else. We've seized more this and that than anywhere else. I should hope so, Mr. Jacob Rees-Mogg, Mr. Uplifting himself. Quite frankly, they don't call it the London Laundromat for nothing, No. Rees-Mogg, that's his name. How about more witty t-shirts? Any ideas for t-shirts? I like doing t-shirts. I've been putting them online. I'm trying to build up a page at the moment on the website as well, so we can. I can then link to them that way, because Teespring, who prints the t-shirts, they don't promote anything. They're not an algorithm-based thing at all. You just basically put your t-shirts on, they print them, and then it's up to you to try and sell them, or get the message out, or get the designs out. So I'm trying to put it on the website and various other places as well. So in time, hopefully, the Google algorithm will find them. The other thing I look at is the pricing on these t-shirts as well. I know I can change pricing on, but they're a bit pricey. I think they're too expensive. Tell me about your postage and stuff. They're too expensive. So the thing is, I can cut the price down. It just takes away from what you make. You can't obviously. Teespring aren't going to change their pricing. Maybe I need a fanny pack, like that Taylor geezer. Yeah, the Undertaker. Boris t-shirt. Boris, I'm not a can. I'm a can't. Oh, cool. I wish you create a YouTube play button and put my name on it. Your name on it? I wish you create a YouTube play button and put my name on it. Boris, I'm not a can. I'm a can't on that one. London grad. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's also, yeah, it's not just a laundromat, is it? It's the London grad. The fact that they were, they could buy themselves. Because, citizenship in the UK. A golden visa. But don't they do something similar to that in Portugal or Spain or somewhere? Houses they're building around here, half block, half wood frame, 30-year guarantee. Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with wooden frame houses, providing it's obviously needs to be treated timber very ideally, because obviously you encourage all sorts of pests. But looking at stick frame houses have been built for donkey's years, and a lot of these modern houses aren't even that. They're actually sheet materials like pet panels. So effectively sandwiched panels, which very simple things. And me and the missus would, oh, somebody at the door. I wonder who that is. No one important. It's my son. Oh dear. And what about some Allshorts car stickers? Cheap posts. Ah, that's a good point, actually, Heather. Could do that. That's really bumper stickers. That's a really good idea. I like that idea because you can do that. You can do that on Teespring as well. I didn't think about the bumper stickers. That's actually a really quite cool idea. That is. RC, yes, company linked to Gazprom. Or a bank, they're probably both, yeah. Well, didn't Jacob Rees-Mogg's investment company, Somerset and Management, what they call it, didn't that have shares in Gazprom as well? I know it did in the media firm, the one that Alicia Yusmanov has got whose shares in. In fact, I think he helped, yeah, which all state-owned, state-run. The Russian state, that is. I do have a door. We have a front door. And a back door, the side door. We have doors. We've got to make a new front door. I made a new side door, but I need to make a new front door and a new back door. The front door is a lovely old door, but it's drafty as hell. So it's that needs to be changed. So, but I'll make it. It's going to be a big, solid, heavy, probably oak door. Because I can. Sort of thing I make, so. But big studs and stuff in it. That's what I want. Yeah. It'll weigh an absolute bomb. But it's an old stone house that can hold it. Folk of a certain age will now be chanting, "There's somebody at the door." I know. Oh, no, Edmonds. There's somebody at the door. And what about Allshorts pins? Also cheap. Yeah. Oh, well, you mean like little badges? The badge pins. Is that what you're talking about? I think so. And how's the... That's a good point. What about the Euro... Is the Eurotunnel getting used at the moment much? I suppose it must be, mustn't it? Because those P&O ferries they're not going to be transporting a lot of goods at the moment, are they? Boris has also confirmed or denied that he has been fined. Oh, Oh, is he one? So he broke the law. He's a criminal. Shouldn't he give up his job? I think he should. It'd be only fair, wouldn't it? RC. Chris Murphy's responding to RC about Infosys, which is the company owned by, well, part owned by Charter Marty, which is the Chancellor's, Richie Sunak's wife. She owns 430 million quid worth of shares in her, but also that the company has been operating in Russia still. It's a rainbow dawn. Sue Sunak's wife has, she's got 430 million in shares in Infosys, but I don't know what else she's involved in. I did that. Oh, good lord. Yes, I do. I do. Most people think it's without having to say it, as well as seem to have to do it a lot, it seems. A lot of folk, somebody at the door. Oh, I don't know. So Boris Johnson, hopefully, touch wood, plenty of that round there. He's going to get fined. Nothing will happen. He'll just get fined, and he just, because he broke a regulation, not necessarily a law. There'll be a big get out, as far as he's concerned. Ministerial code doesn't mean a lot with this lot, does it? They keep breaking ministerial code. Like the fact they didn't record any of the conversations they had with Randox and people like that. Yeah, the PPE and what have you, the testing. The channel train traffic 50% down from pre-COVID and pre-Brexit. Oh god, yeah. So many people don't seem to think Brexit's got anything to do with it. So when you say, they say, oh, it's not COVID then. They go. I say, oh, so it's not Brexit then. There's a bit of everything. It's a perfect storm. Everything's made a difference. Look at the inflation. Inflation in France, for instance, is under 4%, about 3.4, 3.2%. And now they're admitting it's now in the mid sixes, 6.5 in the UK. It's actually higher than that, but the way they actually work it out, they work it out on figures from industries that weren't operating, which makes no sense. During the COVID time, during lockdowns. I went into my local council, specifically, it was on there. Oh, come back. This YouTube thing is quite fickle, Can't make this mind. I got knocked. Oh, we got knocked back. Where are we? Does anyone have any information on the council's hardship funds and how do you apply for them? I don't know if you've got to do it. Can you do it via the website or not? That's probably crashed. The thing is, these funds are a stopgap. They might get you out of trouble. That's obviously very thankful for if it can. But if someone's cash flow is that bad, you've got a reoccurring situation, haven't you? We need a way to be lifted out of the actual situation in the first place. Heather says she's been trying to find information on Watford Borough Council and Blackpool Council. Chris Murphy said he got knocked back. For applying for one of these loans. Mog Somerset Investments Company has Russian investments, including. I said that already. It's not great if people can't make ends meet in the current system, how things are at the moment. And then you've got thinking Richie Sunak. He didn't do anything, did he? He didn't do anything for people who are literally on on the, what's the word? What's the phrase? Bread, something or other. Not breadboard. No, so it's just sad, really. They don't care. They don't give a damn. QA Library, hello, buddy. Hope you're well. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're just making we're making these for the trees stuff. So they're gonna be hung on the trees for the average donations, and then be doing some routed signs as well. Talk about that, I better do. I've got enough here to do another 3. So I'm doing them on there first, and then I'm going to cut them out and then make them into whatever shape I can get out of them. Oh God, blooming light. Oh! See, it's not all my problem. It's only a problem when I'm doing these videos. Because usually I'm walking around doing some. I'll go to that saw, then I'll go to that saw, then I'll go to that planer, or I'll go to that bandsaw. I'll go to this vice, which is over there. Get something out of the straw, maybe. I don't know. I'm moving about, so they never go out. There's only when I'm sitting down, that's when it goes out. It's quite annoying. So we'll do another one. So, done that one. So, using my pencil, I can do, oh my God, that's a long name. Romanksuk. Oh my God. That's, okay. How the hell do I fit that on there? I might need a bigger bit of wood. Well, that one's a bit bigger. Blimey. I wonder what that is. I put this on there because the button's hard to press down. So I've got a bit of see, I'm quite ingenuitive, you see. This is a bit of inner tube. I cut a slit over top. Yeah, you don't have to squeeze the end because it gets hot. And then I've got wood underneath there, and that holds the button down. So it works. Otherwise, you're constantly squeezing it, and it hurts your fingers after a while. Anyway, so let's do that one. So that one's going to be Richard. Funny bit of wood. La 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 la. These are just offcuts when I was making the shutters. There you go. I'm surprised now, there's still people out there who won't say a bad word against this government. I just find it phenomenal how narrow-minded and narrow-minded, just linkered, brainwashed they are. There you go. There we are. There we are. Oh, that's tight. Squeeze it in. Oh, the smoke gets your eyes. Oh, that's right. That's cool. And I've got, oh, crikey. Romanksuk. Obviously, I'm not pronouncing it right because I don't pronounce anything correctly. That I do know. But it's quite a long one, this one is, so it's going to have to... There you go. Yeah, it didn't make me wonder, though, why people are so still happy. Well, not actually happy, but they're just kind of, oh, no, we'll stick them with them. We don't like what they've done. We'd rather they do something regarding, people who are struggling, increased prices. Everything's becoming more expensive, including here. I tell you what I do need to do. Me and the missus, we need to do a shopping run soon. I don't know if you want to sponsor us for toilet rolls. We're gonna have to buy the toilet rolls. Jasper. Because no, obviously I'm not toilet rolls. My neighbour, bless her heart, she just bought 30 kilos, picked up yesterday, of rice. 30 kilos of rice. She's only going to have to mice get at once, and that'll be no good. So she's only her. But she's worried about rice. For obvious reasons, I understand the worry, but That's just ridiculous. She's never going to get through 30 kilos of rice. Caroline did buy a load of veggie mince the other day. Sort of soya mince. But that's partly because it's cheap where we get it from. I mean, yeah, there's a online supplier here in France. They don't in France. They don't. There's not that many vegetarians in France. There are vegetarians, obviously, but not. It isn't a huge, isn't as big here as it is in the UK, or even in the United States. If you're vegan, oh my god. Oh, we're getting out. There's going to be room. Thank the Lord. I hope that one. I did it. We did it. I fitted it on. I've obviously got to sand all these down. Got 2 more I can do until I might have some more off cuts when I start doing these bird boxes. So these are the little ones. We're going to be tying these onto the trees. So it'll be quite cool. Let's see what you're saying. Got engaged, didn't you? Buy rice in that way. Married to a Filipino. A measure of rice for her is like about really. Oh, Brian, you married to a Filipino woman. That's pretty cool. One of my friends is married to a Filipino. Oh my crikey, she's lovely. She makes fantastic spring rolls. Oh, I was fitting a skylight for them both, and just help them out. And Ian, although he's a Brexiter, which I didn't realise at the time. But anyway, and she made these spring rolls. Oh, crikey, they're probably the best spring rolls I've ever eaten. Didn't even know it was it was a Filipino dish or what it was, but she made these wonderful spring rolls. Really, really lovely. She's a nurse as well. Can't say that because I don't know if they appreciate that if they. The Library says today is Trans Day of Visibility, a day to celebrate trans and non-binary people, I would say, as well as raise awareness of discrimination many face. It's right. It's actually Trans Day of Visibility. That's quite interesting considering what went on yesterday. Battery's gone down. There you go. Plug you in. Oh, and the light go out at the same time. Yeah, because what Boris Johnson said, Alexander Boris DeFeffel Johnson, the blonde Boris mutant variant, that scourge on society. He's what he said in that in that party that was not a party, and then that evening, was it Chris Walsh said what's it called? Is it trans can't even say it now. Dysphoria, is it? Oh, crikey. Anyway, he feels that in himself that he's a woman, and it's fair enough. But he did a very brave thing and made his announcement and told people how he felt. I thought that was amazingly brave of him for Tory. And then just a few hours before, Boris Johnson being a twat. I don't think that was deliberate though. I don't. That was just an attack on Keir Starmer. But it just shows that he just puts his foot in his mouth constantly. That he's just an idiot. It just reminds us of all the other things that he said. Referring to sexuals as bum boys and stuff like that. It's just, and obviously all his other things he said in the past as well. Horrible little man he is. but people vote for them. So what does it say about the people? Oh, I've got a super chat. Cool. What was that? Oh, cheers, Chris. Chris Murphy. You're most kind. Thank you. Transphobia. Transphobia? No, not transphobia. That was trans dysphoria. Dysphoria. I think it's like when you feel that you're not. He's transphobic. Oh, I see your point now. Yeah. He's transphobia. Boris Johnson. He'll declare the Tories as the leaders of trans. Oh, crikey! You're probably right, Brian. Lompier with sweet chili sauce. Oh my god! You make me hungry now, Brian. I need to do some cooking. I like cooking. I really need to get back in the habit of cooking again. To be fair, my God, Bennett Cowan, she made a fantastic quiche the other day. It was just Lorraine quiche, but it must have been the best quiche I've ever eaten. I'm not big on quiche either, but this was so good. And she makes fantastic cakes. And I prefer simple cakes. When she does like a Victoria sponge or something like that, she does it so well and so light. You don't need anything else. It's just that. It's fantastic. You can always tell when Boris has a script and has been told that under no circumstances. Yeah, that's very true, Andy Brown. They're a bit more mechanical, aren't they? Boris, do not deviate from the script. You'll cock up, you will. Boris de Tourette's. Feck! Oh, to all those who have a vote in the UK, remember the last few years, well, 12 actually, at the next election. They won't, though, Brian. They won't. They won't remember it. It's selective memory. They'll hear a few words. All of a sudden, the taxes will be reduced. The national insurance is going to be reduced. Everything will be reduced just in 2024. Just before the elections, the people vote for them. They do it every single time. He'll declare the Tories as the leaders of trans affairs in the world. We were the first. People need to be reminded constantly of the things that he said. Not just said, but things that he's printed in the Telegraph and other papers. And the student papers. That's who he is. He's horror. Oh, Brian, you're a seafarer. Cool. Went through one a week for my nose. Bog rolls still blocked. Sinuses, teeth, and jaw pain was the worst. Is this COVID or just started snowing here on the south coast of the UK? Yeah, we just had hail. We are supposed to be getting snow though. They said we're going to have 4 inches of snow in April. Supposed to be starting tomorrow. Tomorrow. I had that live shopping video. I did that, didn't I? That did really well, actually, that live stream I did. That had quite a few replays on it. The one when I was in the Lidl's. I got told off at the counter. And I tried it at the family village, but the internet wasn't good enough. But in San Juan's, right? I did a shop in San Juan. Jacob Fleece, big roll, yes. Duke Vengeance is mocking idiots who vote for Tories because he says because Marcus, Labour would be worse. Really, they keep going on. It's still going on about Corbyn. I was hearing an interview the other day about Corbyn, and I thought, and they also going on about how Corbyn, how the MPs, how Labour voted Corbyn in and stuff like that. Well, no, the people voted him in. So, Labour members voted him in. Misguided that they were. Because actually, the actual Labour candidates, they didn't actually want Corbyn. She was COVID-19 when she gave birth to her baby, and since then it's been together since hardship, and it looks like her daughter will be on the altar. Oh, crikey, really? Not great. Crikey. No snow here yet. We just had the hail. So I hear on the south coast, apparently in the UK, there is snow. Hello, Ginger Giraffe. So I forgive you because it's your time. This is probably early for you, isn't it? I hope you're well. I'm making shiny things. Yours though, your one. You were very, very generous, and I'm going to make you a proper sign for your tree. Trees, I think, probably in your case. So we'll be making these little ones here, just to, dangle them off the trees. So tie them to the trees. Talk about that. Let's make another one. Let's do another one. Why not? The old pyrography. Like I said, it's great for doing the old nasal hair. No? Okay, it's like a Turkish barber. Oh, done that one. That one's done. Oh, I really got to do something with that light. Oh, it's over there. I need another light. Oh, that's right. Oh, it's all gone a bit kind of, personal now, isn't it? Right, I've done that one. Oh, done that one. I've done that twice. Caroline written some of these ones down twice. Already done that one. Or has she done 2 donations? Possibly. I better check that. There's one here. I'll put a question mark. The Sandy Reid one, it's down twice. There's a possibility there might be more than one donation. So I'll question that one, just in case. I don't miss anyone out. That one. Oh, is she here? Ow, it's hot. Is Susan DeWitt here? Let's do it. Oh, you just sold on. These are very good. I used to use soldons years ago, but I never really got them hot. Never really get them hot enough. It's okay on certain woods, like bass woods and stuff like that, and they mark really well. But this one has a hot wire. Yeah, see that? Yeah, it's very hot. Very hot. You don't want to touch that. No. Don't put down your urethra, whatever you do. I don't know why you would, but don't do it. But you could use it for instead of anal bleaching, you could use it for that. No, okay. It would work though, wouldn't it? That's it. Where's the hairy bit? Oh, there's a hairy bit here. I'm not going to try for that. Yeah, it's like that. You see the smoke come off there, a bit closer. This is a bit weird, isn't it? What am I doing this? Oh, I've got hairy arms, that'll do. Let's get a bit closer. Oh. Ooh. Surprisingly hot. Mags, kilowatts per hour. No wood puns. Oh dear. Okay, let's do another one. So, what have I got to do here? So, I've got. Oh, let's do it. I could do Shannon for Let's Do It, couldn't I? Or I could, because it's her daughter. Or do I just do Let's Do It? Some people left actual requests, so some people didn't. Do I do Let's Do It? Or do Shannon? I'll do both. So I do the S. Alright. I'm sure she won't mind if I put her daughter's name on there as well. Well, hang on. Shannon, that'll be Shannon, wouldn't it? That'll be the Shannon. That's the river. It's not Irish River, isn't it? Or River in Ireland. Ireland. Wait. I need to check that spell because I don't think she isn't. No. I'll finish that one later because I think it's Witte. I'll do it anyway, and if it's wrong, didn't run through it channel now anyway. I think it's Witte. Hello? Yeah, we're live. Uh-huh. Well, I've got to do the shapes. Caroline, I think that spelling's wrong.
What one's that?
Esther Witt. I think it's Witte. You could do, yeah. I'll do a different one. I'm waiting. You failed me. You failed me, you did. Poor woman. She's married today. Do you feel sorry for her? Bet you do, don't you? Someone says, hi, Caroline. Yeah. Caroline's a good girl, she really is. So we'll do a John Simpson. I haven't done John Simpson yet, have I? No, I haven't. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. It's quite hard using this thing because you kind of like it's trying to make you follow the grain as you burn them through because the soft stuff burns faster than the grain itself. Tea ready? Should probably put a message on there, probably. Nah, tea won't be ready yet because it's a bit early for tea. Time. It's 4:10 here in France. That's so. I'll tell you something, it makes such a difference having that weird thing on there that I put on there, this bit of rubber, what's it? It's quite hard to hold the button, the little tiny button is quite stiff. And this is a Simpson. Is it as in the Simpsons? No? Not big is like so. You just got. You mustn't push. You just have to let it burn. You know what I mean? Just to, if you push, you end up going between all the resiny bits of the grain. You know, or the radio rings. So you're gonna make some bird feeders later, I think. Automatic bird feeders, so you basically just fill them up and you just fill them up once a week and they should be fine. But we are getting to a time of year where it ain't quite so much of a problem because I'll just nick things out of the garden. That's what we normally do. They've got our fruit, little swines. So one thing we don't do anymore is we used to put up fly papers. And we don't do that anymore because the birds are sticking to them. And it wasn't great. Oh, I was right. That's fine. We can do that.
Was it okay?
No, you were wrong. You failed me. This is divorce. You said you checked the spellings. Actually, I think there's recompense. Bend over. I'll write a couple of W's, one on each butt cheek. So when you bend over, it goes, wow. No? Okay. You don't want me to do that?
No. Are you ticking them off when you're doing them?
I am. I've been up. See? Do you know if Sandy Reed's done 2 donations? Because it's on there twice.
I'll check that.
She's like my PA. I got a PA. You're my PA? You can't spell. Oh, squeaked at me. If you want what that noise is, that's whenever the door shuts. I've weighted it with a log of wood and it's a pulley, so it automatically closes. You know, it's quite ingenuitive actually, to be fair, I must say. Okay, there you are, Mr. Simpson. Mr. John Simpson, there you are. I think that's quite good. Like I said, they'll all be sanded and they'll all be shaped. And I can finish this one off now. I know now. Then I'll check that. Look at that chat. Got a bit deep. La 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 la. I really want to do another video, as in one like my Monsieur Petroli video. You know, in lockdown, going to the shops. It's this one, okay. But you wrote it twice. Oh dear. That's what happens in Parliament, you know. In the,
Which
that,
one
that,
was your cross out?
that one there done. Either, I'll just put a line through it, so I've already done it.
This one?
Yeah.
How many more you got?
Got one, two, what?
3?
On there, plus on there. And they've got the big ones to do as well, haven't we?
1, 2, 3, and then
And also got this guy here. That's the one who, yeah, he's for his son. Oh, shit. Whoops! I can just about read it. Oh, it's still burning. It's still burning.
Do you know what it says now?
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, that's the one. A message for his son. What that? Does he washing? No, yeah, it probably does actually. Yeah, go on if you want to. Can you iron it? Put some creases down the front as well. Yeah, check that. Yeah, and I know what you're like. My dear wife's got a habit of washing things that are in my pockets, and usually electronics.
A coin for a trolley.
A trolley coin. I don't know why about that. Or they end up in the filter in the washing machine. I think that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. That's quite good. Yep. Oh, what, the scroll saw? No, I haven't. I'll do that in a minute. The chop saw for the wood. Yeah, that's broken now. Oh, that's pretty good. Quite happy with that. Let's put a little heart on there. There's a bit of space. Can't have space on it. I'm going to have to get rid of the space. So what I'll do is I'll put a little heart on it. Oh, that's sweet. Belgium. That'll do. That's good. That's cool. Let's see what you say. We're done. How many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 so far. Let's have a look. Let's check it. I thought Caroline had the rolling pin. Yeah, she bashes with me. I'm beaten. I am. You know. I get a boost, but I like it. Oh, measure the width of Van Sidis Van. I don't know what that says. Oh, yeah. Well, I thought Caroline had the rolling pin. Andy Brown, empty jam pot with hot water for flies and wasps. Yes, that works really well. Not so good on flies, though, but for wasps, work really well for for those little stingy creatures. I haven't had much luck with that with flies so much. I tend to use you've got a bottle like this, like that. If you put some, if you're talking about catching flies, set myself a light. Fill that up with a bit of vinegar and sugar, even orange juice. And you put a bit of meat in there, even a bit of dog poo. And then a couple of holes in it. I usually cut a little V and I flop it down, and the flies will go and that'll fill up with flies. That works, and also hornets. So yeah, me hang them in the trees and places. You need to get the hornets as quick as possible. Otherwise, they start causing a real problem with the fruit trees. Trick with the bug traps is to stop them getting back out. Insects don't then tend to fly to don't tend to fly to the centre of the bottle or jar. Oh, that makes sense. See, the other way, that's how I tend to do it. I found it works really well. So I cut a little V. If I've got a pen, I can show you. Pen. Where's a pen? Marker pen would be ideal if I find one. They are here somewhere. Oh, in fact, there's one here. There you go. Sorry, make it easier to show. I'll cut a little V like that, 3 places around. So 2 cuts, one there, then fold that in. Just fold it in and do that in 3 places. The other way you can do it is literally cut the bottle all the way around here, like that. Do the 2 sections, take the lid off, and then put it upside down into it. So effectively that then becomes like a funnel pointing into the bottle. With your fluid in here still, obviously, same sort of fluid. You can get pheromone type stuff if you want. Pheromones? Stuff like that anyway. Like the red top fly catchers you can get. And the flies will go into there and I'll just fill up with flies. That works also. The only problem with that is if you have a lot of rain, you'll dilute or fill this up with too much fluid. And then then it's no good. That's why I do it this way. I just, really simple as well. It's even easier, isn't it? Literally just cut a little V like that and then fold that bit in. And they never find the way out again. By that time, they've been bouncing around inside there and they're drowning in there. Cruel, isn't it? But they're flies. So I don't care. They're flies. Because they're a bit of a nuisance. And because we're very rural here, with the cows and what have you, pooping in the fields, we do get a lot of flies. So we have to deal with them. So we don't use the big fly papers anymore. We used to buy fly paper on the roll, about wide. They cut, I think it's about 15 or 20 metres on the roll. And you pull a piece out at a time and get covered in flies, what have you in the greenhouses. They do really, really well actually catching the flies. But we had a few instances where the birds have got in and they've been going to try and maybe eat the flies or something, and they get stuck with their wings on there and they die. So that's a no. I suppose what you could do, if you had a piece of that fly paper and put it into a box, and all you've got little holes, so the flies can get into the holes, maybe. You'd have to have a food source, and maybe they'd stick to the fly paper. But you need to protect the birds, that's the problem. I suppose you could put a bit of mesh in front, a bit of mesh, but yeah, so the birds can't get to it. That might work. And what about mice? Well, we just use traps. Don't put any poison out, but we didn't know that. You said that was banned now, is it? Fly paper is banned now. It uses arsenic. Why would you have arsenic? Wouldn't the fact that you just stuck to the thing like that, wouldn't that be enough? I'll get you in. And you try to waggle about, they move like that, and then the wing falls off. Get stuck, they rip the wings off. I don't like flies. Venus flytraps. That's what we need. Do you find that, do they catch a lot of the Venus flytraps? I'd have thought once they're closed for quite a while. Depends how many flies they got, I suppose. I didn't know they're banned. Are they banned in the UK, or are you talking about in EU in general? Because last time I bought one of those rolls was about a year ago. Maybe that hasn't got arsenic in that one. Or are you talking about the ones, the little wind down ones? Yeah, the ones that come in a little roll. You pull them out and then maybe they've got arsenic in them. The trick with bug traps is to stop them getting back out, yes. Thing with, yeah, that's true, but I can't remember what it was, but somebody said about just using jam jars. That works with certain things. Not flies so much, but with the wasps and stuff, they get stuck in there in the fluid and they just drown. I thought Caroline had the rolling pin. Empty jam pot. That was you, jam pot. Hot water. Or tiny. What? That would mean a very large plank or tiny writing. Shopping vids are the best. You see people. Oh. Just to annoy you, I'd say my name was Brian. Never was called Pat, so I'm not an expat. Oh dear. I was never called Pat, so I'm not an expat. Bum bum. If you chop the top off a drink bottle, flip it over. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, wasn't it? That's like a funnel. And apple coin, that works. Or apple juice, anything like that. Or beer. I know it's a waste, but if you've got like dregs of old beer, like old, old dumpy bottles, and the people are left and pour them in them, they work. They seem like the acidity as well, so vinegar. Caroline giving you an auto-cue. Someone about to get a slap. And it ain't Chris Rock. That'd be me. Tell her, check the list again, just in case. Oh dear. We have got another list. We've got these are the little ones, but then we've got some bigger ones here as well. So we're gonna be doing some routing signs. I already did a video. We're over 2 hours now already, so but it's fun. Slugs love bear traps. They do, don't they? You just get the plastic bear traps, but all you really need is just to bury something in the ground so they go in there. The other thing you can use for slugs is copper. You can get a copper tape. And if you stick that around things, they don't seem to get across copper for some reason. Oh, memo to self: do not lick the Vapona fly strip. No, arsenic in it apparently. Fly pit that does have poison in it. I didn't realise that. I did not know that. So no, don't lick it. Sign of winter coming on the very wet ground is mice scrambling up and down. Oh, really? The laugh in the walls. Blimey. To be honest, I did hear... Oh, shit. They had stopped, but I heard them in my ceiling above my office the other day. So I need to do something about that. Horsefly bites are God, they're horrible, aren't they? The thing about horsefly bite, when they bite, they don't just like a mosquito stick their thing in. They actually cut. Isn't it because they want to lay an egg or something in you? That's pretty gross. It's like alien. What's on here? Solvite. What you talking about glue? A wallpaper paste? Solvite. What about Solvite? Just a try and damp ball of white bread. Mice can't resist. Oh, you know what they love is peanut butter or tahini or anything like that. Peanut butter, not the nutty one, just the ordinary smooth. It's got to be really smooth. I like the smooth one. Yeah, peanut butter. That's what we use for our traps. And we were using the traditional metal traps, but the flipping mice had a habit of nicking the bait. And I started using these little plastic ones. The only thing I don't like about the plastic, these little plastic like cat traps or whatever they're called. The spring isn't very strong, so it's not. I don't think it's instant. I worry that it isn't instant. And if it isn't instant in a trap, I don't. Yeah, animals to suffer. I want to be done. Got bats in my loft. Bats are great though. Fun times if one decides to wriggle down the pipes in the house. Ooh. That would be funny. No, I do love the bats. I actually really do like the bats. I love sitting in the evening, in the summer evening, and watching the bats circling. They look like a figure eight. Amazing. Mosquitoes don't like the smell of lemon. I didn't know that. And I have a lemon geranium. Oh, of course, citronella. Yeah, they don't like that either, do they? Citronella. Of course they don't like lemon. I have a lemon geranium. What about lemon plant? At every window. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Some people say about hanging a plastic, a Ziploc bag with a coin in it with water in. A shiny coin with water in it and Ziploc. Apparently they won't pass it. I don't believe that. I think that's a wives' tale, some stupid crap. Maybe it works, maybe it don't. Oh, them traps are useless for mice. Oh, hang on. I used to use a big balloon. A balloon mice. Oh, sorry. Useless for mice. I used. I'm so confused now. Them traps are useless for mice. I used a bin, a balloon. Mice got caught and let out free until they got clever. Yeah, I've seen actually done. I tried it myself. That's probably my trap wasn't very good. I used a big plastic container with a metal rod, a bit of piano wire, going through some beer cans, and I'd coat the beer cans along the top with some peanut butter. And the idea was they spun on the rods. As soon as they go on, they fall because they can't. Yeah, the can spins round, and then they end up in the bucket and they can't get out again. One of them tall buckets, like 20 litre. Yeah. It wasn't very successful, but it might have been my trap or my bait. I got a burn blister, but I didn't burn myself. I leave a big creator. Oh, it could be creator in my hand. Oh, nasty. Ooh. I used to have a bat in my cottage. In my cottage bat, not attack people. Oh. Since see, shine the pin on mouse traps for easy trigger. Bend the pin also a little bit to make it go off with just a touch. Yeah, I tend to do. What I find is though is as soon as you try and put the thing down, it's gone off on you. Let's jump out your skin. They do actually hurt though. They nip your fingers. The metal ones and all that. And also, another thing you must do with mouse traps is not just to leave them laying about. You need to fix them down onto something or tie them to something, like have a bit of string or something. So you don't get a mouse that size it's going to have it catches its leg or something and then it drags the mouse off. Drags the trap off. And you just get left with you lose your trap. And then you've got to think, oh, that mouse is probably suffering somewhere because it's got a trap attached to it somewhere. And you don't, if ideally they will be finished off quickly if they're suffering. Don't cause harm, do you? Well, not harm. You do want to cause harm. You want to get rid of them, but because they are a problem, especially when they pee on your plasterboard and stain everything and stinks and it's nasty. Live traps for mice are fine if you can release them. I used to use live traps in Sallows in Norfolk. I used to because I had a problem with my local petrol station in Wroxham. Because he was a horrible man. So we used to catch them mice. We used to let them off at this petrol station. And he used to go underneath, he used to scurry underneath the doors. A little gap underneath the seal on the door. And he would go inside his shop, probably eating munching all his stock. A bit of luck. He was horrible. We used to take them there anyway. That was only down the road, so it was quite handy. My cat's in my... you got cats. We've got a cat. Now our cat is a bit of a problem. It catches the mice in the shaman, which is like a path between the trees, on the side of our piece of land, and then we know it's there because he sits there for ages waiting. He catches them, brings them in the house, and then either lets them go or eats them. And we always got like a little bit. I don't know what it is, a little gallbladder or something horrible left, and there's bits of, and I usually attach a bit of grass as well. I don't know why he brings grass in with it, but there is usually a bit of grass with it as well. So obviously we just grabbed it like that. He brings it in the house to have a bit of a feast. Has anyone heard a cat eat a mouse? And it's crunch. Hair crunching. Horrible. Ugh. Charlotte's cats are her mice catchers too. So it depends where you live. The thing is, here is obviously there's a lot of mice here because we're in rural France. There's fields everywhere. There's going to be field mice or mice in general. Maybe mice, that'd be mice. Mice and snakes. But if you're in the city or in the towns or even the suburbs where I used to live, we didn't get a lot of mice. We got mice, but we didn't have a huge problem with them. Poison, you're right. Yeah, poison is the worst. We tried poison before, and we thought, hang on, this is awful. Effectively, they bleed to death and start to turn, they bleed internally. And then obviously they die probably in the walls somewhere or on your floor. So the dead carcasses everywhere. So that's That's not the best way of doing it, is it? And it's not instant. It's just cruel. And he says the grass was there, clearly there, as a garnish. Yes, but maybe a side dish. It's like having chips on the side. Your cat's eating all your spiders. Now I have a fly problem. I don't think spiders eat that many flies, do they, really? You have to have a huge amount of blooming cobwebs everywhere. Oh, a Carl Gustav 84mm recoilless rifle can solve a mice infestation problem temporarily. Yeah, I do have a couple of rifles here, and only air rifles, and a little air pistol. It looks like a Luger, and but my terrible shot. And mice are so flipping small. You got to be right on top of them. I suppose it's fun. You can sit there waiting. Waiting, and waiting. I'm waiting. It's a bit like fishing, I suppose. Yeah, a warfarin, it does. It kills cats too. Well, it kills anything that eats it, doesn't it? That's the thing, isn't it? Whatever eat that grain, impregnated grain, or is that pate they do? Is like a pate in a little bag, like a little sachet. And that stuff. Maybe give it some. Oh. That's what should have been sent to Partygate. Maybe. Poison is a bad idea. They die, hide somewhere, and there's a putrid smell, and you can't find them. No, it's got to be in some crevice somewhere you can't get to. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. But we're hoping to do a bit more in the garden this year, because last year I was just so busy with the channel, and I just didn't have no time. And then I went to Ginger Island, so we lost a lot of stuff then. So it's just it's a lot of blight. We suffered a lot of blight last year. So the tomatoes end up going all black. So it wasn't very helpful. But yeah, no, this year we want to do a bit more. Not necessarily more, but try and do better at what we do in the garden. So our crops are better, especially with the fruit and stuff like that. And that will mean we need to control these flipping hornets, because they do take over with the apples if you let them. A pain in the bottom. I don't know if they sting you. That's not that nice either. They carry it to the nest and it poisons the brood. Oh, I see. Read it again. 84mm barrel ball. Oh! Sorry, Brian. Well done. That would be... That can't solve all your problems. Yeah. Unless you leave anyone behind. Grey squirrels can be a pain in the butt, and they get into your attic chewing electric cables. Oh, you don't want that. They wouldn't want that either. Actually, to be fair, we've got our electrics here are quite good. I've got quite a few earth pine martens. Yeah, pine martens are horrid little things. They're not very big. They're quite pretty. They're quite a pretty animal, but they are vicious. The old pine martens. They'll just go into the coop, or or your ducks are, what have you. I'll just kill the lot, just for the sake of killing them. Not like the foxes. The foxes will kill, and whatever they kill, they want to take back to their, to their young, to the cubs. If they can't carry the whole thing, they'll take a bit of it. Yeah, it's Brian. Solve your infestation, but then you've got to rebuild your house. Yeah, they electrocute themselves and they pong. Oh, lovely. Anyway, I'm going to call it, I think. It's been on 2.5 hours now. That's not a bad time, is it? And we've got all these done, so I'm going to cut these out in a second. And then I'll make them into my little whatsits, and I'll tie them onto some trees. and then we've got to do the other ones. So yeah, but so far I think we're just shy of 100 trees now. So plus the new ones were propagated as well. So that'll be for later though. They're not ready yet. And also got the other ones coming. But we've actually, I think there must be about 80 to 100 trees actually in the ground by now. So that's quite good. That's not too bad. And also we've got to try and keep them watered over the summer. You had things to do, but you stayed there instead. Oh, cheers, Brian. Anyway, I'm going to say toodaloo, toodaloo, or ta-ta, one of those. And, yeah, and do some actual work. I bet. Oh, anyway, ta-ta, thank you for being here. Oh, don't forget, boop that like button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? I don't really want to stop streaming, but I do have to get on. And also, my phone's going to run out in a minute, even though it's plugged in. For some reason, it's not charging properly. Oh, probably using more than what it's putting in. Might be the case. Maybe. Anyway, ta-ta.